They watch you. Every story you post, every flex, every carefully filtered moment of your so-called authentic life. They see it all. They scroll past your vacation photos, your gym selfies, your motivational quotes stolen from someone who actually lived them. They see you screaming into the void, begging for validation from strangers who will forget you exist the moment they swipe up. And they say nothing. They post nothing. They exist in the shadows of your digital theater, and you have no idea who they are or what they're thinking. That terrifies you, doesn't it? Because in a world where silence is mistaken for non-existence, the people who refuse to perform are the ones who truly see. You want to know the psychology of people who don't post on social media? Good. Because understanding them means understanding the lie you've been living. It means staring into the mirror and asking yourself a question you've been avoiding since you posted your first selfie. Who are you when no one is watching? The silent ones already know their answer. Do you? Let me paint you a picture. There are two types of people in this world: the broadcasters and the collectors. The broadcasters need the world to know they exist. Every meal is a photo op. Every thought is a tweet. Every minor accomplishment is a story with 3 fire emojis. Their life is a highlight reel, edited and curated for maximum engagement, minimum authenticity. They are performers on a stage that never closes, actors who forgot they were acting. Then there are the collectors. They observe, they absorb, they process experiences internally, privately, away from the scorching judgment of the crowd. They don't need to announce their existence because they're secure in it. They've built something far more dangerous: internal worth. The people who don't post understand something fundamental that you've forgotten. Attention is a currency, and like all currencies, it inflates. The more you spend, the less it's worth. You think you're building a brand, a presence, a legacy. But what you're really doing is diluting yourself across 1,000 tiny moments, fragmenting your identity into bite-sized pieces for an algorithm that doesn't care if you live or die. The silent ones, they're hoarding their attention. They're investing it in themselves, in their real relationships, in skills that can't be quantified by likes. And while you're chasing numbers that reset to 0 every 24 hours, they're building empires in the dark. Social media trains you to externalize everything: your happiness, your anger, your success, your pain. It all gets processed through the lens of how it will be received. You can't just enjoy a sunset. You have to capture it, filter it, caption it, post it, and then check back every 5 minutes to see if strangers validated your experience of beauty. Every emotion becomes content. Every moment becomes material. And in that process, you lose something essential. You lose the ability to experience life for yourself. The people who don't post, they still have that. They can feel joy without needing to broadcast it. They own their experiences. You rent yours from an algorithm. Here's the brutal truth. The people who don't post are comfortable with obscurity, and in a world that treats obscurity like death, that makes them powerful. They don't need you to know they went to the gym. They just go. They don't need you to see their relationship. They just love. They don't need to announce their victories, because the victory itself is enough. This is psychological freedom. This is what it looks like when your sense of self isn't contingent on external metrics. And it terrifies the performers because it exposes the emptiness at the core of the whole charade. When you post on social media, you're giving away control. You're submitting yourself to the judgment of thousands of people who don't know you, don't care about you, and will forget you in seconds. You've handed the keys to yourself, esteem to an algorithm designed to keep you addicted, anxious, and coming back for more. The people who don't post refuse to hand over those keys. They keep control. They decide what matters. They choose who gets access to their inner world. And that autonomy, that self-possession, is something you can't fake with a follower count. You post because you need reassurance. You need someone to tell you you're doing okay. You look good. You matter. The silent ones have learned to give themselves that reassurance. They've built an internal validation system that doesn't collapse every time the likes slow down. They've done the work you're avoiding. The hard, unglamorous work of knowing yourself outside the context of how others perceive you. And that work doesn't photograph well. It doesn't trend. It doesn't go viral. But it builds something social media never will. A self that can't be shaken by the opinions of strangers. So who are these people? These ghosts in the algorithm. They're not Luddites hiding from technology. Most of them use social media. They just don't perform on it. They're lurkers, watchers, the audience you take for granted. They see your posts. They know your patterns. They understand you better than you understand yourself, because they see what you're really doing. You're seeking, they're observing, you're performing, they're analyzing. And that imbalance of information is power. Some are strategists. They understand that in the information age, the less you reveal, the more leverage you have. Others are philosophers who've concluded that chasing digital validation isn't part of a meaningful life. Still others are simply tired of performing, tired of curating, tired of the constant pressure to document and justify and prove. And then there are the dangerous ones, the ones who don't post because they're building something real. They understand that greatness is forged in obscurity, that success is built in silence. They're not posting gym selfies. They're becoming athletes. They're not tweeting about their startup idea. They're building an empire, and by the time you notice them, they're already 10 steps ahead. What does this mean for you? It means you're being watched, studied, understood by people you assume don't care because they don't engage. While you're broadcasting your every move, someone is taking notes, learning from your mistakes, observing your patterns. The silent ones see your desperation, your need, your weakness. And in a world where everyone is shouting, the person who listens has the advantage. So ask yourself again, who are you when no one is watching? Because the silent ones already know, and they're using that knowledge while you're still chasing the next like. Join the few who understand, or stay trapped in the performance. The choice was always yours.